While I enjoy single-player experiences for their engaging stories and experiences that make me feel like I'm driving that narrative, I also love experiencing that with a friend. Earlier this year, A Way Out provided one of those types of experiences. You control two individuals meeting within a prison that aim to break out of that prison and then take revenge on that one guy who wronged you both. The gameplay focused on these fun instances where you needed to work together with your co-op partner to succeed and then further the story. The story, the use of the camera during the gameplay and cutscenes, along with the characters that I really cared about, made for a compelling experience. While A Way Out is memorable, it wasn't the only co-op game that really engaged me this year so far. Door Kickers provides an excellent co-op experience that doesn't focus on narrative, but rather an engaging side-scrolling shooter experience with some tactical gameplay. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my review for Door Kickers Action Squad. The story and premise is simple. You start a level either within single player or the preferred local or online co-op, and your objective is to eliminate all the enemies, rescue the hostages, or deactivate a bomb within a set time limit. Most levels consist of firing at enemies while rescuing hostages. You must untie hostages to rescue them and then wait for them to leave the area. While the hostages are tied up, they can be killed by enemies, used as human shields, or even accidentally killed by the player. Enemies are defeated quickly, and so is the player. This all factors into the game having intense bursts of action as you tactically go from room to room.
Reloading.
Thank you. Yes.
After you complete a room, you'll get some time to assess your next room and plan your attack. In a way, the game reminded me a bit of the recent Rainbow Six Siege and the Vegas series. You'll see a room and figure out the best way to tackle that area without getting yourself killed and rescuing all the hostages. A wrong move can result in you dying, especially if there's a suicide bomber within the area. Rooms are mostly sectioned off from each other with a few enemies popping up to try and attack you as you move to your next point. Tackling rooms is exciting, especially when you decide to come in from the roof and jump through the glass and blast everyone away.
Popping frag. Get him.
Thank you.
As you defeat enemies and rescue hostages, you'll gain power for your special bar. As you gain power, you can use that energy for different in-mission power-ups to help you succeed. You can drop more body armor, med kits, revive an allied player, or even unleash a class-specific power weapon. The power weapons are fun to use and really give you a nice advantage. The med kits and player revives do factor into the intensity of the combat. You do not regenerate health within the game, and you can only get more health through med kits, which have a 2-time use. When your ally dies, you'll need to obtain enough power to revive them. I love how intense it can be when your partner dies and you now have all the pressure of obtaining enough energy to get your friend back into the fight. The shooting is surprisingly satisfying. The guns have a great punch to them and they are lethal. For a game that looks very retro, you can feel and hear the impact of the guns as you pull the trigger. What also feeds into this is the bloody mess that results from killing an enemy.
Frag out.
Yes.
Accuracy plays a big factor into the shooting, with you getting better precision if you use single shots or burst fire for longer targets and go full auto for all the close range enemies. As you're shooting, you can find some pieces of cover throughout the environment to help you shield yourself from enemy fire. At the beginning of each level, you can choose between 4 different classes. The Assaulter has access to machine guns, and they have a choice between a light machine gun or a sniper support shot for their special move. The light machine gun is fun to use for that power, But the sniper support shot, it's just cooler. You can call in a team of support snipers and they'll randomly take out 3 enemy targets on the field. The breacher is your close range fighter armed with shotguns. While the shotguns pack that close range power, you can accidentally kill one of the hostages you're trying to save with them. The breacher has 2 unique special moves with the buzzsaw and the satisfying dragon breath shots that light enemies on fire. The shield soldier is great as you'll have a big riot shield that covers almost your whole body. The cover is great to use when you're the player in front as you can take a lot more damage and guard your ally. The downside is that you only have access to pistols, which isn't as fun to fire as the machine guns, but they still are effective. The shield special is an SMG that can be used. The shield can be equipped with a modifier so that you can withstand more damage or blind your enemies with a nice flashbang charge. Finally, the FBI agent is an effective fighter and my preferred class to pick. She fights with some decent pistols and can use a combat role, and her special is that she can use a machine gun or the fun dual-wielding pistols. The characters help with the variety, and as you earn stars for beating levels, you can then use those stars to cash in for new equipment for your classes. The game has some nice details like being able to decorate a Christmas tree on the first level, and my favorite is that you can kick dead bodies and they'll likely explode. The big standout for the presentation is the excellent 80s soundtrack. Every track within this game is awesome. Words cannot describe how awesome it is, so here are a few tracks from the game. While I do thoroughly love the game, I do think that there are a few areas to improve upon. The major one is the color of both of the characters during co-op play. Each class within the game is green, except for the FBI agent who is blue. So if you're not using the FBI agent, or if you're both using the same class, it can be hard to distinguish who is controlling who. I do think it would be a simple and great change to make character 1 the color green and then make character 2 blue. This way there wouldn't be any confusion. Defusing bomb levels are fun, but it can be a bit tedious after you defuse the bomb, but cannot complete the level until you defeat every enemy. I do think that they should indicate with small arrows where the enemies are that you missed. The game has plenty of levels to enjoy, and I would love a fun survival horde mode to play since the shooting is quite good. Door Kickers Action Squad is one of my favorite indie games this year. The game is very accessible and provides a fun and engaging experience. Since you only shoot left to right and the levels are rather short, I do hope that this does come to the Switch because this style of local play would be perfect to control with just one Joy-Con. Door Kickers is currently within early access and expected to leave early access this summer. The game already provides over 40 levels to enjoy with 4 classes to play with. There's a lot of content considering it's an early access game. I highly recommend you check this game out. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please check out some of my other ones. And if you'd like to help support the channel, check out my Patreon page at the end of this video and in the description down below. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.